champions tonight. It's bound to make him look good. Always around champions. 165-pound weight class is where we start off now, and our meet really kind of hinges on this one for the team championship. Troy Barbush, the senior from Pittsburgh Johnstown, against Chris Blair, the junior from UNO. And this is a huge beginning and a caution for a false start to start us off against Chris Blair of UNO. If UNO doesn't win this one, RJ, it's pretty much over for the team race.
Yeah, if Pittsburgh Johnstown wins this match, they've wrapped up the team title as well. Talking to Chris Blair from UNO right before the match, he knew that. He knew the team race was going to come down to his, and you know, he and I talked a little bit about that because it was the same situation back in '88 when we were wrestling here. The last time the UNO hosted the Nationals was in '88, my senior year, and you know, we were in the exact same position that UNO is right now. The 3 guys in the finals, and you know, had to get at least 2 wins out of it. So.
Well,
Chris Blair knew it was all going to be riding on him, but the most important thing, and he knows that, is for him to go out and wrestle his match and not let the team race dictate how he wrestles. He's just got to wrestle his match. He kind of tipped his hand there with the false start. Chris Blair likes to use that low single. I'm sure everybody in the country knows it. He's been doing it for 3 or 4 years, and there he is in on it right away.
Trying to get a takedown here in the early stages of period number 1. Chris Blair and Troy Barbush maybe not expected to be in this, and he's nearly got him turned over here. Blair has got Barbush in a little bit of trouble here in the early part of the first period. And there he goes. Let's see if he can get him. Nope, no points as of yet.
He's got a heck of a scramble between both of these wrestlers. These two, this is the 3rd meeting between these 2 wrestlers. They're 1-1 against each other, so this is the rubber match. It's Barbush's last chance because he's a senior. Blair just a junior. We'll see him again next year. Barbush, I noticed after the semifinals, was limping a little bit. I'm not sure if it was maybe that left knee of his acting up a little bit. You see he's got the knee pad on that, but doesn't seem to be bothering him too much right now.
No score, a minute and a half to go first period. Chris Blair, the 2-time Class B state champion at Omaha Gross, came in as the number 6 seed in the tournament, ranked 7th in the nation, now 29-11, while Barbush came in as the number 4 seed into this tournament. So maybe a matchup that people didn't expect to see at 165.
Right. This was a weight class where the number 1, 2, and 3 seeds all went down, I believe, in the first round. No, I take that back. The number 1 seed lost in the quarters. The number 3 seed got beat by Chris Blair, and the number 2 seed lost in the first round. So all 3 of them went down early and opened the door wide open for Barbush and Blair both. Both of these wrestlers 3-time All-Americans, so they're no strangers to the national stage. Troy Barbush career record 112 wins and 21 losses, while Chris Blair is sitting on 99 right now, and I'm sure he'd like to get the 100th to win the national title.
Well, and each one boasts a win over the other in their career, and the rubber match is the biggest one they've ever wrestled against each other because it determines a national champion. And there's a stalling warning.
Well, actually, that's a technical violation against Chris Blair for fleeing the mat. So it's not a warning, it's fleeing the mat. That's 1 point for Troy Barbush of Pittsburgh Johnstown.
And an early point makes it 1-0. 25 seconds to go in the first period. So Blair gets penalized for fleeing the mat. It's 1-0 as we wind our way down towards the end of the first period. Both wrestlers trying to be aggressive here in this first period. Blair came out very aggressive, in fact too aggressive. He got cautioned for a false start before we got started. And the first period just about over. We'll go back to neutral for 3 seconds.
Troy Barbush, a 3-time All-American on the mat, but a 4-time academic All-American, All-American in the classroom.
And you see an awful lot of these folks in the finals. The great majority, in fact, of the wrestlers you're seeing tonight are academic All-Americans at one level or another.
Chris Blair also on the Dean's list here at UNO. Very active member in Fellowship of Christian Athletes as well.
Second period about to begin. 1-0, Barbush with the lead, and Blair trying to get the escape, and there it is. 1-1 now, we're even up. Blair gets the escape. So they're even up with a 1:43 left on the clock in second period action. championship of the 165-pound weight class.
Oh, there's a takedown by Barbush on the edge. Just a counter to Blair's shot, and Barbush able to spin around, stay in bounds, and get the takedown. So he takes a 3-1 lead.
There you get a good look at Mike Denny, whose insides are churning a bit in this one.
He knows the team race is riding on this. He's been building for this actually for a couple of years. They knew 2 years ago they were going to get to host this.
They came in, and there's the escape for Chris Blair, so it's now 3-2, Barbush with a lead. Riding time not a factor to this point. Just 17 seconds built up in favor of Barbush. Minute 10 to go, second period, and Chris Blair trying to get a win for himself, become a national champion, but maybe more importantly to him even, get his team back in this team race. They need this win, does UNO, to stay in the team race and have a chance at a national championship.
This is their last finalist. This is the only opportunity they have. There's another takedown by Barbush on the edge. Even though Blair was out of bounds, Barbush able to maintain his supporting points inbounds. The referee still awards the takedown, so now he extends his lead to 5-2. 52 seconds to go here in the second period.
Marlo Mullen, the official, the referee. 45 seconds to go second period. 5-2, Barbush with a lead, trying to become Pittsburgh-Johnstown's third national champion of the night.
There's a 1-point escape by Chris Blair. Riding time not a factor yet, as Barbush only has 35 seconds.
Plenty of time left for Chris Blair. He's down 5-3 to Troy Barbush. Neither wrestler doing much right now.
The takedown for Blair would tie it up here.
20 seconds to go, second period. Had no stalling warnings as of yet, so each wrestler still with a warning before points are assessed. 10 seconds to go, second period. Neither wrestler doing much right now. As we wind our way towards the end, you see the time remaining, and that is the end of the second period. 5-3, Blair trailing Barbush. Barbush will start in the down position. Final 2 minutes will go a long way toward determining this team title. And both of these young men know it.
Barbush able to get the quick escape. Blair not able to hold on. Not really key at this point, because I figured Blair was probably going to cut him loose anyhow and start working for takedowns. There's another takedown by Barbush.
And Barbush has really done a great job, RJ, of countering.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. He's doing a really good job of countering. Most of his takedowns have come off of Chris Blair's attack, and Barbush just doing a really good job of countering.
Boy, that makes it awfully difficult right now, and a caution again for Blair.
That's got to make it difficult for Chris Blair, because he is an aggressive type wrestler. He likes to take a lot of shots and stay on offense, which is great for a wrestler. But when you come up against a guy like Barbush, who's a very strong defensively, sometimes it can backfire on you.
Blair gets the escape. It's 8-4 with 1:30 to go third period. Of course, we learned at 1:49 it's never over.
That's the great thing about wrestling. The greatest part of this sport is it can be won at any time with the fall. You can win it with 1 second left.
Mike Denny, you see, obviously sweating this one out a little bit. 1:20 to go third period, and Blair down by 4. And nearly another takedown off the counter by Barbush, and Barbush.
Good Granby roll by Blair.
1:05 to go, third
avoid
period.
Giving up any points there, so it's 8-4. Riding time not a factor at this point. You said earlier, how big was that major decision by Strittmatter at 125? It was huge, because even if, I mean, they had the team race wrapped up even without this match, you know, so that half a point made a big difference.
It was the point in the major decision that swung it from a half-point UNO lead at this point to a half-point Pitt-Johnstown lead. And now we go back to neutral with 39 seconds to go. A good look there at Pitt-Johnstown head coach Pat Pecora. He knows what's riding on this match as well, as does pretty much everybody in this arena, I guarantee you. 8-4 is the score.
With 30 seconds to go, his wrestler holding on to an 8-4 lead. Pat Pecora is probably trying to figure out which finger he wants to put that ring on.
20 seconds to go, and Barbush just trying to stall really without looking like he's stalling at this point.
He's content to sit there and let the time tick away. Now at this point, the only thing Chris Blair could hope for is some type of a throw, and I find hard-pressed that he's going to get that against Troy Barbush and the wrestler of his caliber.
A defensive stance put on by Barbush right now. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, and there it is. Your champion at 165, Troy Barbush. He wins it 8-4 in the decision, and your champion for the team race is going to be Pitt Johnstown. As they came in with 4 in the finals, they have 1 more to wrestle, but they now take a 4.5-point lead over UNO, so there's no way that they can lose it because UNO's got nobody left to wrestle.
Now, one thing they're probably just going to happen here, Troy Barbush ran off the mat into the crowd. Depending what the official does here, technically he could take a team point away right there. And I see Pat Pecora going over, shaking hands. Coach Denny congratulating Pat Pecora for Pittsburgh Johnstown on their national team title.
And your champion at 165, Troy Barbush. Let's go to our PA announcer for the awards at the 157-pound weight class.
From the University of Nebraska at Omaha, All-American Alan Cartwright. In 6th place, from Ashland, medalist and All-American Joe Ferris. In 5th place, from Southern Colorado, medalist and All-American Benny Charles. In 4th place, from North Dakota State, medalist and All-American Wayne Moody. In 3rd place, from Minnesota State University, medalist and All-American Matt Petzinger. In 2nd place, from Augustana College, medalist and All-American Alan Hankins. And ladies and gentlemen, the champion at 157 pounds, from the University of Northern Colorado, Scott Hewitt.
There are your champions at 157 pounds, as Scott Hewitt of Northern Colorado gets the call as the champion at 157, and he stands atop that podium with a huge grin on his face, and why not? He's a national champion indeed. Let's go down to McGraw-Millhaven. He's standing by with a very happy Troy Barbush, the champion at 165.
Kevin, thank you very much. Troy, not only did you win the national championship, but you also brought it home for your team. Tell me how you feel.
Well, I was trying to keep the individual thing out of it. This win here wasn't for me. It was for my team, my family, my coaches. Worked hard all year. Didn't really get the respect we should have, and came down to us guys in the finals. You know, had a lot of pressure on us. 3 guys had to win. We did it. I'm just happy for the team. That was my #1 goal, to do it for the team.
Well, now you're going to have a ring on one finger and a ring on the other finger. One for your national championship and one for the team.
I hope so. I hope so.
Congratulations. Kevin, back to you.
Well, I think the days of hoping are done for Troy Barbush. I think he's got it wrapped up.
They've got it wrapped up. The team title's wrapped up now. University of Pittsburgh Johnstown. They've got 110 points to UNO's 105.5, and they still have another wrestler yet to go at 184 pounds. But we're at 174 pounds now with Steve Saxlin, the sophomore from North Dakota State in the green uniform. He's the defending national champion at this weight class, and he's taking on Trent Monlux, the senior from University of Southern Colorado, also an All-American, placed 7th last year.
And Saxlin is your favorite. He's ranked #1 in the nation. He wears the green togs, while Trent Monlux of the Southern Colorado Thunderwolves is in the red. And Saxlin, the #1 in the nation, won the NCC title 2 weeks ago with a decision over Albert Harold of UNO. And when they set up this bracket, everybody, I think, expected to see Saxlin and Harold matching up again here in the finals, but Trent Monlux had a little something to say about that. He defeated Harold in the semifinals this morning by a 5-4 mark, and so that brings Trent Monlux into the championship round.
And that was with a come-from-behind takedown. He was trailing, I believe, 4-3 with 20 seconds to go when he got that takedown against Albert Harold.
And as we mentioned in the last match, it's never over until it's over, and Monlux proved that this morning with that come-from-behind win. Saxlin has had a terrific season once again. Saxlin coming into this one 25-5 on the year. Trent Monlux entering this final at 30-2. So both have done a very good job. Monlux came into the meet at 27-2. He's won 3 straight. 30-2 now for Monlux, as he got wins over unseeded Tony Riamalto and also Nick Mayer, and then he beat number 2 seed Albert Harold to get into the final.
Saxlin's looked very solid on his way to his championship. Had a little trouble in the first round, had to get a reversal in the 3-point near fall in the last 20 seconds to beat unseeded Travis Nagel of in the first round from Morehead State. Nagel from Morehead State. But Saxlin, just a sophomore, won it last year as a freshman, and you know, you hate to start looking ahead on something like that, but you're looking at a potential 4-time national champion since he is here in the finals again. There haven't been a whole lot of them. On the Division I level, there's only been one. That was Pat Smith from Oklahoma State. Division II, I believe there's been 3 or 4 of them over the years.
No score here in this first period. About 50 seconds to go in the period. And there's the takedown for Steve Saxlin. A 2-point takedown. It's 2-0. Saxlin with a lead.
One thing about Saxlin, he's nothing flashy, but he's just a hard worker. He just keeps coming at you. Real good with his single leg attacks, and likes to use cradles when he's on top.
North Dakota State, Steve Saxlin starts in the up position while Monlux is down. 2-0 is your score. Monlux 4th in the nation, Saxlin 1st in the nation. Those rankings will change. The final rankings will show one of these folks first and one second as they make it here to the finals.
These two have never met before. This is the first time that they've seen each other.
Southern Colorado and the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. And there's an escape for Monlux of Southern Colorado. It's 2-1, Saxlin with a lead. Monlux is an All-American, RJ, last year, 7th place last year at the NC2As.
Saxlin, a state champion in high school. We talked about most of these wrestlers you'll see here were at least a 1-time state champ, if not up to a 4-time state champ, as we saw earlier. And he was coached by his father, Richard Saxlin, in high school at Pipestone, Minnesota.
Well, stick around with us as we have still 3 more national champions to crown at 184, 197, and in the heavyweight class. And in the heavyweight class, you're going to see what we think is going to be a terrific matchup. Ryan Riesel and Shane Carwin. Shane Carwin could have been carved, I think, out of granite. This guy is just huge, a physical specimen, and he'll go up against Ryan Riesel, who has had some terrific success in the NCCs.
A quick escape, and Saxlin turned right around and attacked Monlux with a double leg. Monlux able to fight it off, but very impressive move out of the bottom for Steve Saxlin. He leads 3-1.
1:44 to go, second period.
Took him about 3 seconds to get out of the bottom, and right away he was in on Monlux's legs immediately.
Saxlin may have learned that move from his father, who coached him at the high school ranks. A wrestling family is where Steve Saxlin comes from. 1:25 to go, second period. It's 3-1 Saxlin with the lead over Monlux for the national championship at 174 pounds. And not a lot of action over the last half a minute here in this second period. After the quick move by Saxlin, both wrestlers have kind of gone into a stalemate a bit.
Again, like I said, Saxlin likes to use a single leg attack. From what I saw of Monlux, the couple times I watched him this weekend, he's just kind of a brawler, really tough, does a nice job of fighting things off. Unable to fight that one off, though. Steve Saxlin gets another quick takedown with that single leg attack. He leads now 5-1, building a little more lead in hopes of defending his national title.
North Dakota State came in with 6 qualifiers into the tournament, but they were a little disappointed. They were hoping to have a better shot at defending their national crown that they won last year. That was not to be. They came into tonight's action at 7th place in the team standings. But this is a battle for 7th and 6th. Southern Colorado came in right ahead of North Dakota State.
And North Dakota State is no stranger to this arena because they won the title here in 1988. So They've won the title twice in Bucky Mon's 35 years at the helm at North Dakota State, and one of them was right here in this gym.
And there's a 2-point takedown from Monlux as he got good position on Saxlin and drove him into the mat. 5-4, and now Saxlin's lead is down to 1, and the riding time, which was nearing a minute, starting to slip away from Saxlin. So all of a sudden, Monlux making a big move here in the second period.
You see how quick it can slip away from a guy. We've seen it a couple times earlier today. But he just went from somewhat of a commanding lead to now it's a 1-point match.
Along with McGraw-Milhaven and my partner next to me, R.J. Neby, I'm Kevin Kugler. We're at the Sapp Fieldhouse on the campus of the University of Nebraska-Omaha. It's the NCAA Division II Wrestling Championships, and what a fun night it has been. We're in the 174-pound weight class, and Steve Saxlin, the defending champion, is back to defend his title, but he's have all he can handle from Trent Monlux at the end of the second period. He only leads 5-4.
And it's Monlux's choice. He's going to take the down position. An escape would tie it up 5-5 here in the final 2 minutes of this national championship match. Ooh, a real close situation to locking hands by Steve Saxlin there on top. That would have been a penalty point against him.
Saxlin trying to prevent, I should say, Monlux from getting the escape that would tie it up, plus build up a little riding time. The riding time up to 35 seconds,
but
he lets him go for the escape. We're even at 5.
And there's an example of what I said. Saxlin just keeps coming at you. He's a hard worker.
This one was 5-1 earlier in the match, and Monlux with a takedown and a couple of escapes is drawn back even at 5-5.
So we're pretty much get down close to the final minute here in this match. A takedown could win it.
And the headgear off for Trent Monlux, so they stop to let him get resituated. Haven't seen an overtime yet, RJ. We may have one here. Still a long way to go, but
we got a quick look at Southern Colorado coach Doug Moses, again in his 15th year. Not even half of what Bucky Mon has done at North Dakota State. 35 years he's been the coach up there. And there's a takedown by Monlux on the edge. He takes a 7-5 lead over the defending national champ, Steve Saxlin from North Dakota State. There's a look at assistant coach Pete Isaias from North Dakota State.
Well, what a night it has been for Southern Colorado if Monlux can hang on. They had 2 wrestlers in the finals. Courier won in the last seconds with a pin of Lazaro Reynoso, and now trying to get the win is Monlux over the defending national champion Steve Saxlin. And there's the escape. And
again, this match rather important for the team race because Southern Colorado's, they're in 3rd place right now. They'd like to take home some hardware at that 3rd place trophy.
40 seconds to go in the 3rd period of the 174-pound weight class. And it's 7-6, Monlux in the red, Saxlin in the green.
Don't believe there's been any warnings yet for stalling, so that isn't going to play a factor at this point. 30 seconds, down to 30 seconds to go. Saxlin trying to do everything he can to get in on the legs of Monlux. Monlux effectively countering.
And out of bounds they go back to neutral with 27 seconds. And an injury timeout for Saxlin. So over to the side goes Trent Monlux, where he'll chat with his head coach.
Now Monlux, since he didn't take the injury timeout, you see Doug Moses coaching him there. The wrestler that's not injured can be coached.
After seeing Doug Moses tonight and now his 2nd match, you think he's not excited about this national championship stuff? Tell you what, he is more fired up than his wrestlers have been tonight.
Well, I talked to him yesterday early in the tournament, and he didn't think they probably were going to have a shot to win the tournament, but he thought they could do very well with the wrestlers that they brought because they didn't bring a whole lot of wrestlers, but the ones they did bring were quality.
7-6 is the score. Monlux leading by a point with 27 seconds 3rd period.
And riding time will not be a factor.
Only 28 seconds in favor of Saxlin, and he can't build up any more, at least enough to a minute. 15 seconds left in the 3rd period, and now we got a stall warning issued against Trent Monlux.
13 seconds. There could be another one called, but Monlux doing a nice job of staying aggressive there.
Saxlin shooting down low, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and your national champion, is not Steve Saxlin, the defending champ. It's Trent Monlux of Southern Colorado, who gets the 7-6 decision in an upset at 174.
Well, I hope
congratulations.
I hope I didn't jinx Steve Saxlin by talking about that fourth one, but Monlux did a heck of a job to come in here as a senior, win a national title for Southern Colorado.
And a great night for Southern Colorado. 2 entrants in the finals, 2 national champions tonight for Southern Colorado. What a night they have had, and what a night for Trent Monlux. 7th place last year at the NC2As, and what a turnaround to come all the way back and win the national championship the next year. Well, folks, a tape is available of this broadcast, and if you'd be interested in owning a copy of the NCAA Division II Wrestling Championships, just call us up at 1-800-227-5281. It's $30 plus tax, shipping, and handling, but a chance to own a piece of history. 1-800-227-5281, the NCAA Division II Wrestling Championships on videotape. And the award winners are on the podium at the 157-pound weight class. Let's go to our PA announcer for the awards.
Southern Colorado, medalist and All-American Jason Tapia. In 5th place, from Ashland, medalist and All-American Chance Van Gundy. In 4th place, from Truman State, medalist and All-American Calvin Bueller. In 3rd place, from St. Cloud State University, medalist and All-American Klaus Alberts. In 2nd place, from the University of Nebraska at Omaha, medalist and All-American Chris Blair. Ladies and gentlemen, at 165 pounds, the champion from the University of Pittsburgh and Johnstown, Troy Barbush. Would you congratulate all of our All-American and medalists at 165 pounds?
And there he is, your champion, Troy Barbush of Pitt Johnstown at 165 pounds. And McGraw-Millhaven back with another champion, this time Trent Monlux at 174.
Kevin, thanks. Trent, you were down early, but you never really were out of it. You came back, you fought hard to the end. It's got to make you feel good, doesn't it?
That's the way I've been wrestling since I started, I think, is never give up. But they were telling me all day, this kid's a good kid. If you keep pressuring him, he'll break. And he broke, and he took some injury time, and I just built up my confidence more. Felt like I was breaking him, and it happened.
When he took that time out at the end, did you know you had him?
I felt like I did, because I had that much more time to regain my composure. And the coach was telling me what to do, just keep your motion, stay in good position. So I did that, and it worked out.
Trent, congratulations, national champion. Kevin, back to you.
Tell you what, the comments by Trent Monlux really underline a portion of wrestling that doesn't get enough attention. It is such a strategy sport. You really don't think about the amount of strategy that goes into this. Just listening to him talk, outlining all the strategies going through his mind in the last minute.
Well, you look at these wrestlers, and they've been wrestling for 10, 15 years. The strength, they all spend the same amount of time in the weight room. They're pretty evenly matched physically. It all comes down to who's the toughest mentally, especially at this level.
184-pound championship, Ethan Brownback of Pitt Johnstown and Edwin Lauren of Central Oklahoma is underway now to crown a champion at 184. We've got 3 left. This one, 197, and the heavyweight weight class tonight in the national championships.
I figured it out with McGraw. He looks good with these guys next to him because they got like these black eyes and cauliflower ear. He looks really good next to him.
Well, McGraw's going to have his picture taken for his publicity photos from now on with a bunch of wrestlers surrounding him, I'm sure. The best thing about saying this stuff is McGraw can't rebut all this stuff. That's the best thing.
I'm sure he'll get his chance. He's already got me in trouble with Brahman Creighton.
Exactly. First period just underway in the 184-pound weight class. Ethan Brownback of Pitt Johnstown, the final Pitt Johnstown wrestler of the night. If you're just joining us, Pitt Johnstown wrapped up the team title with a win at 165 over UNO's Chris Blair, and the Mavericks of UNO will finish second behind the Mountain Cats of Pitt Johnstown.
And there's a takedown by Edwin Lauren from Central Oklahoma right on the edge. We haven't talked much about it today, but you'll see a lot of these wrestlers scoring on the edge. People tend to relax on the edge, and that gets taken advantage of, and you've seen it right there. Edwin Lauren, Central Oklahoma, gets the easy takedown to take a 2-0 lead at 184 pounds.
Well, Ethan Brownback came in as the 4 seed. Edwin Lorne, probably a guy that's not supposed to be here, as Brownback gets the escape. It's 2-1. Lorne came in as the 6th seed, and boy, what a frustrating senior year it has been for Edwin Lorne. He was academically ineligible in the first semester. Just came in with a 7-2 record overall in the actually 5-2 record. Now is 8-2 over 7-2 overall. He had a bye in the first round.
Well, it's no surprise that he got to these national finals. He's a very quality wrestler. He ended up getting seeded 6th because of the fact that he had a very short record with just 7 matches before coming to the national tournament. But he's beat the number 2 and number 3 seeds on the way to getting into these finals. Brownback, on the other hand, got his 100th career victory in the semifinals when he stunned the number 1 seed Conrad Johnson of Adams State by a score of 10-4. So he dominated that match.
Well, wrestling is a tough sport, but probably not as tough as the Marine Corps, and Ethan Brownback would be the first to tell you that. He served in the Marine Corps for 4 years, was a member of the All-Marine Wrestling Team from 1993 to 1995. Now talk about a tough bunch, an all-Marine wrestling team. You got wrestlers, you got Marines, and you combine them. That has got to be something that you don't want to meet in a dark alley.
I'll tell you, they wrestled very successfully on the international level. The Marines do. Very often you'll see wrestlers come from the Marine Corps that wrestle on our Olympic team. Usually, a lot of times in the Greco-Roman ranks especially. They're wrestling overseas. They get a lot of international exposure when they're serving in the armed forces. Ethan Brownback looks like a Marine. You look at the build on this guy.
But he is down 4-2 right now after the takedown from Edwin Lorne, who has wrestled very well in this tournament. After getting the bye, he beat the 3 seed, Kevin Bukella, 4-3, and then he beat the number 2 seed, John Simpson, 8-7. They've been close matches, but he's come out on top in both of them against quality competition as the 6th seed.
To start at Central Oklahoma, that's saying something in itself, because Central Oklahoma has been a powerhouse at whatever level they've been at. For many years, they were a power on the NAIA level, and about 6 or 7 years ago, they moved up to the NCAA Division II ranks and immediately started winning titles there. Head coach David James, in his 17th year there, they've only won 9 national titles in 17
that all?
years. That's it.
They are definitely a power in collegiate wrestling. Central Oklahoma's Edwin Lorne leads at 4-2 as we start period number 2. Brownback will start in the down position, entering with a 23-11 record into the final. He was 3rd at the NC2As in '97, a Division II All-American.
He qualified 2 other times. This is the first time he's made it to the finals.
And he gets the escape there from Lorne, 4-3. Edwin Lorne with the 1-point lead. Lorne was a transfer in to Central Oklahoma from Garden City Community College. Several of the wrestlers that have been here this weekend have come in from that Garden City Community College program to various programs.
Another powerhouse on the junior college level is Garden City. They won a national title about 4 or 5 years ago, the junior college ranks. He was a 2-time All-American down there, placing 2nd and 3rd at the junior college national tournament. He again was a high school state champ at Lawton, Oklahoma. In fact, when he was in high school at Lawton, I believe his high school was ranked as the national champion high school team.
Tell you what, Central Oklahoma wrestling power, the University of Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, all real good wrestling schools. Something about the state of Oklahoma, they really produce a lot of wrestlers.
Another quick takedown by Lorne.
And Lorne leads at 6-3 now.
And he's starting to mount up some riding time. He's got 40 seconds of riding time now here in the second period. 45 seconds to go in the second period.
Well, in a lot of respects, it's been a very frustrating senior campaign for Edwin Lorne, but bet a national championship would ease that pain a bit. 6-4 with the escape and the takedown.
A quick ankle pick for a takedown by Ethan Brownback, and things have turned around very quickly.
And talk about a change in the match. 6-3 to 6-6 in the span of 10 seconds. 23 seconds to go second period, and Edwin Lorne now even up with Ethan Brownback.
There's a good look at Coach David James from Central Oklahoma. He was also a national champion for Central Oklahoma himself before taking over the coaching ranks at his alma mater.
There's the escape for Lorne at 7-6. The Central Oklahoma senior with a lead. 11 seconds to go in this second period.
Ethan Brownback trying to make it a perfect sweep for Pittsburgh Johnstown here in the finals. Three of their wrestlers have already won titles. He would be the fourth.
And the end of period number 2. Riding time at 45 seconds in favor of Edwin Lauren. We'll keep you updated on that in this third period. If he gets 15 more seconds, that could be a huge factor.
Here's another look at Pat Pecora, now two-time national champion coach. They won it again, like we said, in '96, and they've won it again here today in '99.
There's the escape for Lauren. He was basically set free by Brownback. 8-6 is the score now. Lauren by 2 with 1:49 and counting in the third period. Ethan Brownback trying to avoid being the only mountain cat from Pitt Johnstown not to win a national title tonight.
That's a little bit of pressure on you when
I'd
the three
say
in
so.
front of you win. Nobody wants to go home as the only guy that didn't win the national title.
Makes it a long ride home. 8-6, we start from neutral again with 1:30 to go in the third. Lauren in the royal blue shorts, Johnstown's Brownback in the navy blue shorts. 1:15 and counting, and now a stall warning against Edwin Lauren. 8-6.
That's his first warning. Again, the next one would be a penalty point.
1:10 and counting, third period. And Lauren gets the takedown. He does. There it is. 2 more for Edwin Lauren, and that's a huge takedown.
It almost looked like Ethan Brownback was pressing a little bit too much, and Edwin Lauren took advantage of that, using the momentum against him to drop in for a quick double leg takedown. But an escape for Brownback now makes the score 10-7 in favor of Lauren, and riding time not a factor yet. 54 seconds for Edwin Lauren, but that's not enough. There's an inside trip by Ethan Brownback. Great move.
And he
to make
gets
the
the
score 10-9.
Gets the takedown, and now he's melting off that riding time. That is not going to be a factor in this one. But now the championship very much in the air. Lauren by 1, 10-9, 30 seconds left.
He needs to make a quick decision here. If he's going to try to turn him or if he's going to cut him loose and go for a takedown. Some of his teammates yelling at him to cut him loose and try to get a takedown. If he cuts Lauren loose, again, Lauren will take the lead 11-9 with the escape, and a takedown would tie it and probably send this match into overtime.
26 seconds in the third period.
And it doesn't look like he's going to... This doesn't make much sense.
Trying for the win, I guess, and there's the escape. It's 11-9, now the escape.
I'm not sure if maybe Brownback isn't confused with what the score was. Arm spin attempt to no avail for Brownback.
Lauren 5 seconds from a championship. And Edwin Lauren is your national champion at 184 pounds with an 11-9 decision and perhaps some confusing strategy at the end by Ethan Brownback.
I think he probably should have cut him loose when there was 40 seconds left to give himself an opportunity to win. But Edward Lauren able to hang on to be the national champion at 184 pounds for the University of Central Oklahoma Broncos.
And a terrific performance by Edwin Lauren to round out a difficult senior year. Was academically ineligible in the first semester, but has now won the national championship coming into this meet as the number 6 seed and ranked 6th in the nation. Congratulations to Edwin Lauren of Central Oklahoma. Our award winners are on the stand for the 174-pound weight class. Your champion in that, Trent Monlux of Southern Colorado. The Thunder Wolves get their second championship. But before we go look at those awards, we're going to watch once more Edwin Lauren walk off the mat as champion at the 184-pound level. There's your award winners at 174 pounds as they receive their accolades from the fans and from the officials in charge. And you get a look.
In third place, from South Dakota State University, medalist and All-American, Tyler Jones. In second place, from North Dakota State, this will be medalist and All-American, Steve Saxlin. And ladies and gentlemen, he capped his wrestling career in his senior year from Southern Colorado by taking home the championship medal, Trent Monlux.
Well, there he is, your champion at 174 pounds, Trent Monlux of Southern Colorado. The Thunderwolves get their second championship of the night. They had 2 wrestlers in the finals, both won championships at the 174-pound weight class. And now let's go back Matt's side once again to McGraw-Millhaven. He's with Edwin Lauren, our champ, at 184.
Kevin, thank you very much. Edwin, try and put into words what you're feeling right now.
It's just a blessing. I just thank Jesus right now. I've come from so far. Nobody think I was gonna make it. Jesus and my coach, my family, my wife, they still bought me. That's really all I have to say.
You were ineligible in the beginning of the season, came back to win the national championship. At the lowest point, did you ever think you'd be standing here today?
Well, my wife and my family, they told me I could make it. They believed in me more than I did. And I just give Jesus praise, because it's the only reason I'm standing here.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Kevin, a very happy national champion. Back to you.
Boy, I'll say so, McGraw. Thank you very much. Edwin Lauren from Central Oklahoma. You say there's no emotion in winning a national championship. Edwin Lauren is overcome almost with that. Jeremiah Constant of Central Oklahoma now takes the mat to take on Sean Angie of Minnesota State Mankato in the 197-pound championship.
Whatever you do, don't blink, because Jeremiah Constant is a pinner. 195 matches through his high school, JUCO, junior college, and University of Central Oklahoma career. Those 195 matches, 155 wins by pin.
That is some kind of achievement. Jeremiah Constant, the #1 wrestler in the nation at 197 pounds. Your official, Mike Allen of Waterloo, Iowa. Roy Phillis will oversee things as the other official on the mat.
Jeremiah Constant, no surprise, pinned his way to get to the finals. He had a pin of 2 minutes and 31 seconds over Clell Cox of Ashland University, and then pinned Jose Medina, the #4 seed from the University of Nebraska at Omaha, at 3:18 in the semifinals. He had a bye in the first round.
Melanie won his regional championship this year with 3 straight pins as well. So you mentioned it, this guy, he's known as a pinner, and he likes to end it quickly with pins if he can. He doesn't believe in messing around when he gets on the mat. Just end it with a pin if he can.
He's 32-2 this year. 23 of those wins came by fall. That's the school record. In his career, he's 93-5, and 79 of those have come by pin. So that is amazing.
Constant in the white and blue, and Angie in the purple togs of Minnesota State Mankato. He transferred in from Oklahoma State. You know their program there. 12-3 there.
Oh, great counter by Constant. The headlock by Angie, and Constant's got Angie on his back. I was just going to say, Angie's a pinner himself. He's got the fastest pin of the tournament. In the quarterfinals against Andy Sistek, he pinned him in 15 seconds.
But 4-0 is the lead right now for Jeremiah Constant, as he got a 2-point near fall as well as the takedown. So it's 4-0 right now. Jeremiah Constant of Central Oklahoma trying to get back-to-back Central Oklahoma titles. Minnesota State's Sean Angie, certainly no slouch, comes in as the #3 wrestler in this weight class in the nation. I mentioned he transferred in from Oklahoma State, where he went 12-3 for the Cowboys and finished 7th last year at the NC2As. Jeremiah Constant transfer in from Garden City again, Garden City Community College, and what a force he's been at 197. 4-0 he leads with 53 seconds here in the first period. One more to go, a big heavyweight matchup between Ryan Riesel and Shane Carwin.
There's a stall warning against Angie of Minnesota State Mankato.
Angie nearly was able to get Constant turned over there for a moment.
He's looking for a Granby roll. Constant doing a good job of just hanging on. 30 seconds to go here in the first period. Angie, I'm impressed in the fact that he was able to get off of his back in that first situation, because most guys don't against Jeremiah Constant.
Tell you what, Jeremiah Constant is not only very agile, he is extremely strong. He is a very quick, agile, and strong athlete at 197, and he's also a proud papa of 2 children, Jacoby, a 3-year-old, and Grant, a 2-year-old, who I'm sure are rooting their father on here in this one.
This is another match that important for the team race, not for the title, but for that third place trophy, because Central Oklahoma has 66.5 points right now, while Southern Colorado has 70.5 in third place. If Constant was able to hold on to a victory here, that would tie them for third place. They'd have to saw that trophy in half and send one to Southern Colorado and the other one down to Central Oklahoma.
Well, at the beginning of the show, we talked with Tim Pavlechko, the NCAA Assistant Director of Championships, and that'd be his job. He'd have to find the hacksaw blade.
Yeah, he's got the saw. He
cut it right down the middle. 4-0 is the score. Constant of Central Oklahoma in the lead over Angie of Minnesota State. 17 seconds left in the first period. Constant, you see, constantly battling for position and trying to get that pin.
And there, I thought Angie was going to get the escape there, but a quick scramble by both wrestlers. These guys have just been flying all over the place, which is unusual at this weight class. You know, you see the lighter weight guys fly around the mat quite a bit, and the heavier weight guys seem to use a little bit more power than the speed, but these two have been flying all over the place already.
Well, riding time definitely in favor of Jeremiah Constant. In that 3-minute first period, he built up 151 of riding time, so that'll be an extra point at the end of this one, barring Angie able to melt off 52 seconds of it. Constant starting in a down position here in the second period.
Angie from Athens, Wisconsin, one of 3 wrestlers on the Minnesota State Mankato team from Athens, so they got a little pipeline going there.
Minute and a half of riding time now as that started to melt down quite a bit. Sean Angie doing a nice job of riding a little bit off, and there's the escape though for Jeremiah Constant. Makes it 5-0, Constant with a lead, and now a stalemate. They'll go back to neutral.
Referee Mike Allen from Waterloo, Iowa. He doesn't give them much time to rest. He'll make them wrestle the full 7 minutes. You see, he didn't give them very long to sit in that stalemate position. He'll get them opening up and going again.
Mike Allen, as all the officials here, one of the best in the nation at officiating wrestling.
There's a near side cradle attempt by Angie. He switches off to a single, and Constant able to fight it off. And this is where he's tough, right here. His front headlock position.
Look how quickly he's able to spin around. Jeremiah Constant.
Angie's still fighting, and Angie's got Constant in a little bit of trouble here.
Constant bent all the way around. You can see that as he gets twisted over. That's a 2-point there. Reversal.
And there's an injury timeout for Sean Angie.
How about that? The reversal, the 2 points for Jeremiah Constant.
That was amazing. I mean, it went from a dangerous position for Angie to a dangerous position for Constant, and Constant ends up getting the takedown. Angie looks like he probably injured his shoulder. He had his arm caught back in there pretty tight. You never know. Watching Jeremiah Constant, I've seen him about 4 or 5 times this year. Here's a look at that action again. Constant almost spins around, gets a takedown. Angie looking for a Granby roll attempt right here, and actually has Constant on his back, but he doesn't have control yet. Constant, you see him still moving, constantly moving.
Look at
comes
that
out,
position.
hangs onto both arms, and ends up with Angie in trouble and gets the takedown.
And Angie ends up at the very worst of it. He gets injured on the series, and it looks like he might have had something when he got pinned, or not pinned, but when he got trapped underneath there, his shoulders were pulled back and nearly touched each other underneath that pile of humanity under there. So his shoulders may have gotten wrenched a bit.
But he looks like he's all right now. He's going to come back to middle, but he's trailing 7-0 now to Jeremiah Constant from Central Oklahoma.
And he'll start in the down position. Sean Angie try to get that escape point. Jeremiah Constant doesn't like to allow anything, not even the escape. He's that confident of a wrestler.
Now again, we talked about the team race for that third place trophy. If Constant were to get any bonus points, which right now with, whoa.
That's very dangerous, their
momentum.
momentum.
Completely off the podium there onto the gym floor.
And that is not a very forgiving surface that they land on down there. Constant is okay, he'll shake it off.
We got, referee Mike Allen felt that Sean Angie didn't stop on the whistle as they went out of bounds and awards 1 point for unsportsmanlike conduct to Jeremiah Constant against Sean Angie of Minnesota State Mankato. Now that makes it 8-0. I was just talking about that team race. If he gets a bonus point, they're going to take the lead and end up winning third place. And he's leading 8-0 plus 9 with riding time.
Exactly. So the riding time nearly 2 minutes again as he's built that up again, and now getting close to a potentially dangerous move, and that is now whistled with 12 seconds left in the second period. They'll go back to neutral as Constant had that arm bent back of Sean Angie's. Angie will start in the down position, 8-0 with a riding time 9 for Jeremiah Constant. As we wind our way towards the end of the second period in the 197-pound championship.
Oh,
and there's a
quick
two-point reversal for Sean Angie, and his first points of the match come right at the end of the second period.
Those are the points you don't want to give up as a wrestler, because those are the mental mistakes when they do that. You talked about this being a mental sport. That was a case where Jeremiah Constant relaxed in those last couple seconds and gives up a 2-point reversal. So now the score is 8-2. It was Sean Angie's choice. He took neutral. Constant's built up 2 minutes of riding time. He's sick of being on bottom against Jeremiah Constant. And Sean Angie's a thrower, so let's look for him to start working for some throws from this neutral position.
Well, I'll tell you, that 2-point reversal by Angie right at the end of the second period could have a huge impact on that team race for third, because that keeps it now keeps it away, I should say, from a major decision, and now an injury timeout.
Now that looked like it was his knee. He looked like he was trying for some type of a trip attempt and ended up maybe wrenching his knee, and he's hurt pretty bad.
As they tend to Sean Angie on the sidelines, we want to remind you that a tape of tonight's action in the NCAA Division II Wrestling Championships is available for purchase, and if you've got a friend or a family member or just a big fan of terrific wrestling and you want to own a copy of this for your own video library, call us at 1-800-227-5281. You can order a copy of tonight's telecast, $30 plus tax, shipping, and handling. It's the NCAA Division II Wrestling Championships. A copy can be yours at 1-800-227-5281. Give us a call right now and place your order for a piece of collegiate wrestling history to have in your own video library. Sean Angie, as they tend to his right leg, and they're taking off his knee sleeve and moving it to his left leg, perhaps.
They've stopped. Mike Allen, referee, stopped injury time, because now we're onto an equipment time, because basically what they're doing, he's gonna switch his knee pad from the right knee over to the left one. Here's a look at the injury. He's got a front headlock on Constant. He tries for an outside trip, but Constant battles back. It didn't look like it got twisted in any way.
Looked like his knee just may have locked up or gave way. It just sort of buckled underneath him, and he grabbed his left leg.
I didn't see
so
it.
They're moving that brace from the right leg to the left leg to try to give a little more stability to that left knee.
Well, with a minute 33 to go, no matter how bad this wrestler's injured, you're wrestling for the national title. You're going to go out. Unless the leg fell off, I bet he would probably get up and go out there.
Well, they seem to be attached, although he is limping very, very obviously as he comes out of that timeout. You can see Sean Angie there in the purple in obvious pain with that left knee. And who knows what happened. We won't speculate, but it takes a lot of guts to come out there in obvious pain and try to wrestle somebody as quality as Jeremiah Constant with only one leg. And Angie just having to be defensive.
And first thing that Constant does is attack that left leg.
And the pain was obvious. Constant was able to bend it again, and Angie screamed in pain and was tended to there. And Jeremiah Constant not trying to hurt anyone, and he feels if that knee is really hurt, Jeremiah Constant, I could see from here, he was very upset. He's almost in tears on the side. He must have heard something down there, because Sean Angie just screamed in pain as that knee got bent back, and you see the look of concern on the faces of Minnesota State. There's a look at Jeremiah Constant, obviously very emotional with what just happened out on the mat. And the junior not trying to hurt anybody. I'm
not real sure what's going on here. And now one thing that I was thinking, I didn't see the official call an illegal hold or anything, because if there was a situation where a wrestler could not continue because of an injury on an illegal hold, the wrestler...
And I think this is it. I don't think he's going to continue. Jeremiah Constant was called over and gave him a hug, and I think Jeremiah Constant is your winner. Jeremiah Constant,
very emotional over hurting his opponent. I've never seen anything like this.
He's the national champion. Maybe McGraw-Millhaven can sort out with Jeremiah exactly what happened. Constant's going to go into the locker room right now, and he is in tears as he runs off into the locker room, obviously very emotional. He must have heard something around Sean Angie's knee when that happened. Sean Angie is being helped off. You can see the grimace on his face. But he's going to try to walk off on his own. What a warrior. As he makes his way gingerly away.
Very unusual ending to that match. A good performance by both wrestlers, specifically Jeremiah Constant winning the national title. But very interesting the way that it ended.
Our 184-pound winners are on the stage. Let's listen in to our PA announcer for the winners.
Scott Antoniak. In 6th place, from Minnesota State, Mankato, medalist and All-American, Ryan Redcane. In 5th place, from Carson Newman, medalist and All-American, Charlie Higdon. In 4th place, from Adams State College, medalist and All-American, Conrad Johnson. In 3rd place, from the Colorado School of Mines, medalist and All-American, John Simpson. In 2nd place, from the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown, medalist and All-American, Ethan Brownback. And ladies and gentlemen, the champion at 184 pounds, from Central Oklahoma, the champion, Edwin Lorne.
Well, we have seen an awful lot of emotion here tonight at the National Championships on the campus of the University of Nebraska-Omaha. Edwin Lorne, your 184-pound champion, was very emotional with his win, and we just saw one of the strangest ends to a match that you will ever see, regardless of whether it's a national championship or a duel. Jeremiah Constant wins by injury default. He was the unhappiest champion you'll ever see because of the injury and the circumstances surrounding it, but I'll tell you what, that injury default win means big things in the team race for Central Oklahoma.
Well, that did. That's just like a pin. An injury default is 2 bonus points. So they pick up the 4 for the win, the 2 bonus points. That's 6 points. That gives them 17.5 to 70 of Southern Colorado for 3rd place.
Let's go Matt side once again to McGraw-Millhaven.
Kevin, thank you very much. Jeremiah, can you sort of fill us in on what exactly happened there towards the end?
His knee when I shot in. I turned it in so I could get around the corner, and it crunched about 20 times. It's like a sack of marbles. You know, I really hate seeing someone go down like that, especially in a great match like this. You know, he's a great competitor, and he came a long way for this match right here, and I hate to see him end like that.
You know, both players do battle, and yet you have a deep care for each other, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, anybody goes through what we have to go through for a whole entire year, you know, it doesn't need or want or even deserve something like this to happen to him right at the end. I mean, he practiced all year, and he cut his weight, and he did everything that everybody else in the whole tournament did, you know, and he got to where everybody wants to get, you know. It doesn't need to end like that.
Well, Jeremiah, you're a true champion. Congratulations. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you very much, McGraw. Jeremiah Constant. Wow.
Very humble champion.
He is indeed.
I'm impressed. I am really impressed with that individual.
You can speak to that, and it's athletes in any sport regardless. You always hate to see a competitor go down to an injury, and especially in a wrestling meet where it's one-on-one individual, you kind of feel an affinity for your competitor after the competition's over, or at least a kinship. Well, here we go, the 285, the heavyweight match, the final one of the night. Ryan Riesel and Shane Carwin. Carwin in the red and gray. Let me tell you, Shane Carwin is a physical specimen. Not to say Ryan Riesel is small change, but Carwin, folks, you may see him playing on Sundays on the football field. 2-time member of the All-American Farm football team, and he's expected in many areas to become an NFL player in for next season in the NFL.
Now, Ryan Riesel, 2-time defending champion, won it in '98 last year and '97 before. He's a 4-time All-American. One of those national championship victories came against Shane Carwin. That was back in '97, the last 2 times these two wrestled. And Riesel coming out on top there actually pinned Carwin in 1 minute and 1 second. So Carwin has already lasted longer than the last time he wrestled against Riesel. But Riesel, a 2-time runner-up. I'm sure he'd like to improve on his last 2 appearances in the national finals.
Well, Shane Carwin comes in, as you mentioned, the 2-time runner-up, but he's known as a pinner as well. He holds the Western State record for quick pins. He had 24 of them back in 1996-97. And we head back to the center of the mat with 1:45 to go in the first period.
And if you're going to look at conditioning in this match, you got to give the edge to Shane Carwin just on the fact that he hasn't wrestled very much this weekend. He won by technical fall in his first match, 16-0. He pinned his second opponent in 2 minutes and 26 seconds. He pinned in the semis in 1 minute and 40. Now Ryan Riesel, on the other hand, earlier today had to go double overtime in the semifinals against Jerry Corner, the #1 seed from UNO, and that was to avenge a loss last week in the conference tournament, the North Central Conference tournament. So Ryan Riesel did it at the right time at the national tournament. Ryan
Riesel, as mentioned, lost 5-4 to Corner at NCC's and then won earlier today in sudden death 2-1. Entered as the 5th seed and ranked 5th in the nation, which is a surprise when you find a 2-time defending national champ ranked 5th.
You're the 2-time defending champ and you only get the 5th seed. You got to think something's wrong here, but he's only wrestled 15 matches this season, partially due to injury earlier in the year. So that was part of the reason, and the other reason, the heavyweight class this year was pretty well balanced. Like we said, Jerry Corner has beaten Riesel a couple times this year, and so that's what probably knocked Riesel down in the seedings coming into this tournament.
Well, Shane Carwin didn't even wrestle last year. He took last year off, as I mentioned, to pursue that career in the NFL, and now is back to wrestle again, as RJ mentioned, second to Ryan Riesel in '97. He lost in the finals, was a runner-up one other time here at Nationals.
We're taking a look there at the All-Americans waiting to get their plaques from 197 pounds.
And a host of champions throughout this meet. What a tournament it has been for UNO, for these athletes, for the fans. 3,800 plus, I would say, although officially 3,800 at the field house tonight, because that's capacity.
We don't want to send anybody home early.
That's right. The mayor of Omaha, Hal Daub, was here earlier, and lots of dignitaries made their way up, because it is just not very often that you get to host a national championship in the state of Nebraska. Now, there's a lot of talk about national champions, a lot of national championship sports throughout Nebraska at the various levels, but not very often do you host one of those. And there we are. RJ, Kevin Kugler, McGraw on the
they'd
sidelines.
warn us before they put us
Oh, exactly. Yeah, we could have gone into the bathroom and slicked up our hair or something a little bit. But it's not often you get to host a national championship, to conclude my rambling point. UNO is one of the few schools that gets the chance to do that. They've done a terrific job.
A lot of former UNO wrestlers came into town this weekend from all over the country to take part in this national championship and see the host team UNO make their run for a national title. Unfortunately, they came up a little bit short. Like we said, University of Pittsburgh Johnstown wins the team title, 110 points to UNO's 105.5. That just shows you the parity of those two teams, how close it is. But basically, one match made the difference for the team title.
Well, folks, if you want to get a copy of this for yourselves, you have an easy way to do it. Just call toll-free, regardless of where you are in this great nation, at 1-800-227-5281. It's a toll-free number, and you, too, can own a tape copy of tonight's NCAA Division II Wrestling Championships. Just $30 plus tax, shipping, and handling. To own a piece of history, that's a very small price. NCAA Division II Wrestling Championships video cassette tape at 1-800-227-5281. Own a piece of history for your own.
I guess we should point out the reason we're not seeing any action right now is the fact that we have an equipment timeout on the part of Ryan Riesel. I believe his headgear has broken, so they're readjusting that. We're 1 minute and 15 seconds into this third period. 1:45 to go, but it's all tied up 0-0 at heavyweight. I should say 285. It's used to be called heavyweight when it was unlimited. Now they have a cap on it. 285 pounds is all they can weigh. It's really, I was talking to a fella earlier in the tournament today, and he says it's really changed the look of the heavyweight class and the style of wrestling. You know, there used to be guys out here that weighed 300, 400, even 500 pounds wrestling, and it was a completely different style of wrestling. Now you get athletes that look like Ryan Riesel and Shane Carwin that get out there and move a little bit.
Well, you see a lot more chiseled specimen, and you see two of them there. There's a good look at Sean Angie of Minnesota State. We heard Jeremiah Constant explain what happened. It sounded like an apt description. His knee crunched like a bag of marbles. And just imagine that sound, folks, and you know what Jeremiah Constant heard.
And you know, and you might know what Sean Angie feels like.
Boy, I don't know if you do that.
You know, the bad part is the pain in his knee is nothing compared to the pain of losing the national title.
You're exactly right, and you can see that pain written all over his face.
Well, we're finally getting back to action here at the 285-pound class. We got the equipment fixed. Now we're going to see some wrestling.
Basically like starting over for these two competitors at this point. They're just starting a minute 15 in. And no score. Carwin from Western State in the red, Riesel from South Dakota State in the blue. In our final match of the night, our final championship of the evening, Western State and South Dakota State. Your team champion, Pitt Johnstown. They sneak out a win over UNO by 4.5 points tonight, 110 to 105.5. The battle for third, though, Central Oklahoma by 2 points right now over Southern Colorado, and that's where that's going to end up. And so Central Oklahoma gets the win, and it comes because they get the injury default in the last match. They get the extra 2 points for that.
Well, you know this was a match a lot of the fans were looking forward to, because many times at tournaments, when it gets down to heavyweight, you see a lot of the people filing out to leave, but they knew this was a good one between Ryan Riesel, the two-time defending champ, and Shane Carwin, the two-time runner-up.
Well, and if you're at the Division II Wrestling National Championships, you don't want to leave before it's over. And heavyweight is always a big draw in, well, heck, in just about anything. Wrestling, boxing, big heavyweight boxing fight
Swimming,
tonight.
diving.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the diving heavyweights.
Divers.
They're big. They're big. Heavyweight basketball, yeah, that's always a draw, too. 30 seconds to play in the first period. My partner, RJ Nebe, he's appearing weekly with his own brand of comedy. No score here in the first period of the 285-pound weight class. Ryan Riesel lost at the NCC championships this year, but is a two-time defending national champion. And Shane Carwin, a two-time All-American runner-up twice at nationals. One time to Riesel.
And actually, Riesel, you know, we talked about the size of heavyweights, not one of the biggest heavyweights in the country by any means.
Second period about to begin. No score between Carwin and Riesel.
Choice goes to Riesel. He's going to take the down position. Now again, Riesel went at double overtime earlier today in the semifinals, winning 2-1, and we're 0-0 right now as we start the second period in this match.
And Riesel trying to get the escape. Carwin trying to get the takedown.
A lot of good quick movement by both heavyweights there. Carwin outworking the bar arm series. Now looking for a tilt. And he's going to get a 2-point near fall.
They're still counting for back points.
He might end up with a
3-point. And I think he does.
He's got the 3-point near fall.
And a 3-point near fall for Shane Carwin, and he leads 3-0. Huge move there, and look out again, he may get it again. Just a 1 count this time, so no points awarded.
Now in order to get points again, he's got to come up, completely let go of that hold, and then allow the wrestler to come back up, and then he can go back to the same move. If he hangs on to the same hold, they're not going to give him points again, but he let it go, switched off, and went back to it again. Didn't get the 2 count there, so no points. He still leads 3-0.
1 minute to go, second period. 3-0. Carwin with the lead here in the 285-pound class, the champion, the final champion of the day. And riding time now a factor. There's a stall warning against Ryan Riesel.
You saw Shane Carwin kind of bought that call right there. He basically picked his hands up like, what's the guy on bottom doing? And sure enough, referee Roy Phyllis calls him for stalling.
30 seconds remaining. In the second period, you see the time left in second period. It's 3-0, Carwin with the lead.
There's a roll attempt by Riesel. Doesn't get the reversal, but does get a 1-point escape. He trails 3-1 after that 3-point near fall. And riding time has built up to 1:42 for Shane Carwin. As the second, you see the clock ticking away, the final seconds of the second period. We're going to go to the third period with Carwin leading 3-1, and it's his choice. He doesn't waste any time. He takes a down position. There's a look at Coach Jason Lyles from South Dakota State.
Hoping that Ryan Riesel can become a 3-time national champ and close out his career at SDSU with a win. Carwin trying to get the escape. Riesel trying to hang on. Melt a little of that riding time off, and Carwin gets away, and as he jogs out of trouble, he picks up a point for the escape.
You see a look at that foot speed that made him a 2-time All-American in football as well as wrestling.
Third period, the final period of the night, 1:35 to go, and look at this. Carwin nearly with a takedown, nothing yet, and it's out of bounds. Good job by Riesel to get away.
Carwin leading 4-1, but he's not sitting back on his lead either. He's going after it. Going for the throw on the edge. Riesel able to scramble out.
What's the strategy, RJ, when you've got a lead in the third period of the national championship? That seems kind of a risky maneuver.
A little bit. I mean, you want to stay on the attack and stay offensive, but at the same time, you really don't want to make a big mistake that's going to cost you 4 or 5 points and could possibly cost you the match. I mean, he was in good position. I mean, it was somewhat risky move, but he had position on Riesel, so you want to stick with more high percentage moves, something that's not going to get you in any trouble.
52 seconds left in the third period. It's 4-1. Carwin with the 3-point lead over Riesel, and we go out of bounds back to neutral with 48 seconds left, third period. Good look at Shane Carwin, the senior from Western State, the Mountaineers of Western State. 43 seconds and counting, third period. Carwin enjoying the 3-point lead, 4-1. And he's got the riding time, so that'd be another point to the total. Carwin and Riesel battling right in the center of the mat. Four to 1 for Carwin. He'll get another point for a bonus, and Riesel not able to do a whole lot here in the winding down seconds of this third period. Now he shoots in and out of bounds.
So it looks like with 14 seconds to go, the title that has eluded Shane Carwin for two previous attempts in the finals might be finally his.
And may go on a bio someday in the NFL if Shane Carwin has his way. 9 seconds, third period. Carwin 4, Riesel 1. And a stall warning issued against Carwin, but that's not going to matter. Time is expired. Carwin is your national champion, 5-1 in the decision over the 2-time defending champ Ryan Riesel. And Shane Carwin celebrates his national title and grabs the final crown of the night here at the NCAA Division II Wrestling National Championships. And there's Carwin, a very happy senior. And you see the strength. He picks up both coaches and throws them down.
And that win helped move his team, Western State College, into the top 10 of the Division II National Finals.
So not a bad finish there as well. Well, the winners are on the podium for the 197-pound weight class. And let's go to our PA announcer for those announcements.
All-American Dale Doherty. In sixth place from Fort Hays State University, medalist and All-American, Pavel Smitty. In fifth place from St. Cloud State University, medalist and All-American, Ryan Marks. In fourth place from the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown, medalist and All-American, Jason Klingon-Smith. In third place from the University of Nebraska at Omaha, medalist and All-American, Jose Medina. In second place from Minnesota State University at Mankato, medalist and All-American, Sean Anchi. And the champion at 197 pounds from the University of Central Oklahoma, Jeremiah Constant. Heavyweights into the chairs immediately. Heavyweight
there's your champs at 197, and a very emotional close. Jeremiah Constant got the win at 197 pounds. And what an emotional way to close that one out. If you'll remember, Sean Angie got the injury. And let's go down one more time. Matt side to McGraw-Millhaven. He's got one more champion.
Kevin, thank you very much. 2 times you've been here before, 2 times you lost. Now you finally broke through. How does it feel?
The redemption, it feels great to finally get the win.
How important was it for you to conserve energy throughout the day with those easier matches?
Yeah, I wasn't what I was concerned about. I was just concerned to get the win through each round.
When did you know you had it?
When I turned him and got the 3.
Congratulations, Shane. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you very much, McGraw. Terrific job tonight with a lot of champions down on the floor. The champion in the 285-pound weight class, Shane Carwin of Western State, came in as the number 2 seed. He leaves at the number 1 seed. And your champions for the heavyweight class are headed to the podium as well. And we'll take a look at those for you in just a moment as they get to the podium. But what a night it has been at the National Championships, and we have seen an awful lot of terrific wrestling tonight. We saw a bronze medalist from '92 in Barcelona go down in an upset in the final seconds at 149 pounds, and we saw a champion crowned in Pittsburgh, Johnstown tonight. Pittsburgh, Johnstown, your team champion tonight at just 4.5 points, I should say, over the University of Nebraska at Omaha. The heavyweights, now 285 pounds, as my partner RJ Nebe mentioned moments ago, they are on their way to the podium. They're lining up to receive their awards for the championship here tonight. And that'll close this chapter and close the 1999 NCAA Division II Wrestling National Championships. And let's go to our PA announcer. He will run us through at the 285-pound weight class, the champions here in the 1999 NCAA Division II Wrestling Championships.
Ladies and gentlemen, in our heavyweight division, in 8th place,
ladies and gentlemen,
from Augustana, All-American James Garvey. In 7th place, from Southwest State, All-American Brady Van Vuren. In 6th place from Gannon, medalist and All-American Todd Proper. In 5th place from Central Oklahoma, medalist and All-American Claude Davis. In 4th place from Fort Hays State University, medalist and All-American Keith Blasky. In 3rd place from the University of Nebraska at Omaha, medalist and All-American Jerry Corner. In 2nd place from South Dakota State University, medalist and All-American Ryan Riesel. And ladies and gentlemen, the king of the mountain, the biggest heavyweight of them all, because he's the champion from Western State, Shane Carwin.
And there they are, your champions at the 285-pound weight class, your final champions of the night. There's still some awards to hand out. We've got your team awards and, of course, the Coach of the Year and all that fun stuff yet ahead, and we'll try to get those on for you as well tonight. Your Team of the Year. Plus, we're going to try to catch Pat Pecora, the champion coach from Pitt Johnstown. McGraw will try to wrap him up and pin him for a little bit of an interview here before we close out this 1999 NCAA Division II Wrestling Championships. They're going to introduce the team finalists, the team champions, as they start to tear down the podium. It doesn't take long around here to start the teardowns as they built this all up for the NCAA Championships, and they'll have all night to work and bring it down once again. Well, 10 champions crowned tonight. Pittsburgh Johnstown, your team champion. They win the team championship by 4.5 points over the University of Nebraska, Omaha. And now they're going to present the team awards, and let's go back again one more time to our PA announcer with the team awards.
The Thunderwolves of Southern Colorado, coached by Doug Moses. are, ladies and gentlemen, the fourth place team of the 1999 championship.
Well, there's your fourth place team, Southern Colorado, as they pose atop the podium for pictures and smiles with their fourth place trophy here at the championships for 1999. And now back to our PA announcer for the third place winners.
2 1/2 points, coached by David James, the Broncos of Central Oklahoma. Up on the award stand, Broncos, if you will.
A good look at Central Oklahoma, your third place champs, a little tardy in getting to the platform to receive their trophy. And there it is, the third place trophy, handed to the national champion, Edwin Lorne, at 184 pounds, and he holds it proudly. And so Central Oklahoma celebrates as the third place winners tonight here at the national meet. Next up, it'll be UNO as they came in second place here tonight. Second place, UNO tonight, fell a little bit short of Pittsburgh Johnstown. As you look at the happy Broncos of Central Oklahoma. Now back to our PA announcer for the announcement of the runners-up.
Coached by Mike Denny, the Mavericks of the University of Nebraska at Omaha.
Mavericks making their way to the podium to receive their second place trophy, not where they wanted to be standing at this meet on their home turf, but second place is certainly better than not, and the Mavericks will take it as they finish second, 4.5 points behind Pitt Johnstown, and that one's a little harder to swallow, I would imagine, finishing that close in the national championships. And you see some of the folks very dressed up tonight for the national championships. The tuxedos were brought out in this one. And Mike Denny comes up to join his team, the UNO Mavericks, who finished second in this one, behind Pitt Johnstown, the national champions. Mike Denny will receive congratulations and the runner-up trophy at the NC2As. Mavs fall 4.5 points shy of Pitt Johnstown, and there's the trophy handed to Mike Denny, and the Mavericks will enjoy their pictures and their awards, and away they go. There are the Mavericks on the podium. They're waiting somebody else to get up there. There he is, and now they can take their pictures with the national championship trophy. There's your second place team, UNO, posing for shots with the NCAA trophy, which will go out into the trophy case in the center of the Sapp Fieldhouse here on UNO's campus. And getting ready now as athletic director in the foreground, directing traffic. And now back to the PA announcer for your champions.
Division II champions, coached by Pat Pecora, the Mountain Cats of Pittsburgh Johnstown. And ladies and gentlemen, with the presentation of the championship trophy, this officially concludes the NCAA Wrestling Championship. In just a few moments, we will make 2 final special presentations. Mr. Ward Greason, if you are here again, please. Mr. Greason, will you come down to my table if you're still here?
And there they are, the champions from Pitt Johnstown. Pitt Johnstown head coach Pat Pecora with the trophy. Hopefully we'll have a chance to talk with him in just a moment. McGraw-Millhaven waiting in the wings to pounce on the championship coach. The 2 awards that are left to mention are the Coach of the Year and the Outstanding Wrestler, and they'll make an announcement of that in just a moment. I'll give you a hint. You're looking at both of them in your picture right now. That may give it away, because there's only one coach in that picture. Pat Pecora of Pitt Johnstown, the 23-year head coach. His 2nd national championship. He won it in 1996 and has won it here again in 1999. And Pat Pecora, with his championship trophy in hand, is down in front of the podium with our own McGraw-Millhaven.
Kevin, thank you very much. Coach, you came into tonight's match, you were down. How confident were you guys could pull it out?
I knew we could pull it out, but I knew it'd be tough. To win 3 out of the finals, you know, with 4 guys, I knew it would be tough, but we have the guys to do it. The Strip Matter Mothers, Troy Barbush, you know, they knew they were going to do it.
One more question here. Are there any more Strittmeyers at home? Or
Yes, there are.
There are.
And we're going to get
There's Coach, congratulations. You deserve it. National champion. How's it feel?
It feels great, and this team's
Coach of the Year.
That's pretty neat.
Strittmeyer, both of them told me afterwards that they were really the coaches of the team, more or less.
Yeah, they're hard, strong, the farm guys. Huh? No, it was. This team is special. These guys are special. We also won. We also had the most academic All-Americans of any team too. So I'm proud of them with that. You know, to win the title on the mat and in the classroom, you know, I feel real good about that. We had. This is a special group. We've been working for this for a long time. These are the kind of kids you want your sons to look up to. They're great role models. And I love them all, and that's what this became. This became a team of believing in themselves, believing in me believing in them. And I told them we went from a team to a family, and that's what it's all about. And we were talking about the journey all year long, and I told them now, enjoy it. It's a special, special time, and a special, special time in their lives. And I'm so proud of them all because we got into something, and we believed in each other and the relationships that were formed here. And that's what coaching's all about, and they made it special. I love it.
Coach, guys, congratulations. You're the national champs. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you very much, McGraw-Millhaven, and that closes out the 1999 NCAA Division II Wrestling Championships. You saw the Coach of the Year, Pat Pecora. We'll mention Jody Strittmatter from Pitt Johnstown was the outstanding wrestler of the meet. So a terrific performance from Pitt Johnstown, a great performance from UNO as well, and a team match that went all the way down to the wire. Pitt Johnstown won by 4.5 points over UNO here tonight. Well, folks, if you'd like to own a copy of tonight's 1999 Division II Wrestling Championships, there's an easy way to do it. Just call 1-800-227-5281. For $30 plus tax, shipping, and handling, you will own a copy of everything you have seen here tonight. The emotions, the highs, the lows, everything. It's a piece of collegiate history, and it can be yours by calling 1-800-227-5281. A terrific night. Champions have been crowned in 10 weight classes, and you can have it all on your own tape at 1-800-227-5281. Well, that, I think, is about put a cap on this one from the NCAA Division II Wrestling Championships tonight. And now for McGraw-Millhaven, for my partner R.J. Neby, and for the entire UNO television production crew, I'm Kevin Kugler. Good night from the Sap Field House in Omaha.